All right, namaste. My name is Brittany Shanae. I'm bringing your tarot for the week, Tarot Tuesday. This is for the second week of January 2019. I do hope you are able to see the cards. I'm using the Illuminated Tarot deck. This is by Caitlin Keegan. This is like one of my favorite decks. This was my very first deck, and what I like to do every week is sort of prepare myself for what it is that I should be expecting for the next 7 days, just so that I can sort of gear my mind and shift my energy and set my intentions for whatever it is that I should be preparing for. So today I've decided to do a 3-card spread, just asking what it is that I need to be expecting. And so the first card that I have here is 4 of Diamonds or Pentacles here on the Illuminated Tarot deck. And this card represents some sort of hesitation to help others or preoccupation with material possessions, like a hoarding or a greed, almost like a distraction with the mundane, earthly, material possessions that we have that keep us from really, reaching out to our brethren or finding what our actual purpose is in life. It's more preoccupation with what's going on in the physical world versus the mental or the spiritual world. And this can have some serious repercussions for us. We can lose relationships because of this. We can miss out on opportunities because of this. We can overlook a whole lot of things that are going on, overlook the universal signs of what we need to be dedicating our energy to because of this. And it's not always agreed in terms of actually hoarding physical money or physical possessions, but sometimes it has to do with just a matter of the way things are and having a hard time with change. The world is constantly changing. Everything is changing around us, from the weather to the people around us. People are growing, people are moving. Our paths are either, diverging into different things, or, what success looks like for us today may not be what it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago or even yesterday. Every day is a learning opportunity, and we have the choice to either take what it is that we've seen and what we've experienced and use that as a learning experience to help shape our future decision making. And but the problem is a lot of times people get caught up in the way things are. And if they're comfortable with that, it can be very difficult to be flexible. It can be very difficult to adapt. So this card is saying that we have a choice. We have a choice to stay where we are if we're comfortable, remain in our comfort zone, stick with what we have, and anything that has to do with change we can resist. Or we can go with the flow of the times. We can go with the flow of opportunities. We can choose to move forward into the future, being okay with not knowing exactly what to expect, but knowing that we're willing to be flexible in order to open up the doors for us to experience new things. And then also, change is required for growth. You can't continue the same behaviors and habits and expect new outcomes. Okay, that's the definition of insanity, and most of us know that by now. So if you're doing the same things and you're expecting different results, you're not going to get different results. It is what it is, and if you want to see something different, then you got to do something different. So one of the things we might be being challenged to do different now is to see ourselves differently. This is the Judgment card, the 10 of Spades or Swords in the Illuminated Tarot deck. And typically would mean some sort of announcement, something that we should be awakening to, or something that's going to be revealed to us when it's upright. But on the flip side, judgment can be, for whatever reason, we're struggling with our self-perception. Maybe we're very judgmental of ourselves. Maybe there's a lot of flaws going on that we just, for some reason, is taking up most of our focus when it comes to how we see ourselves, and is getting in the way of our self-love. I know this is something that I personally struggle with, or at least deal with a lot. A lot of my healing processes are having to do with self-love. And speaking of the healing process, our 7 of Diamonds or Pentacles here, which is also the star in the Illuminated Tarot deck, is having to do with hope and healing. So the good news is that there's hope to turn these things around. If we want an ideal future for ourselves, if our future has to do with healing and growth and change and evolution and success and drawing things into our lives, law of attraction, then we have to change some things. You know, if we're afraid of change, then things won't change. If we're afraid of judgment, then we'll always be judged. And a lot of the reasons why we experience judgment is because of fear. And any experience based in fear is something that's mirrored to us. So if you're someone who is judgmental, if you're big about criticizing other people and it's always negative, and it's likely that you're projecting feelings of yourself onto other people, but also, you might be opening the door for people to judge you, which is sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy sort of situation. So we want to be careful about the type of quote-unquote advice that we're soliciting to people, because oftentimes we're just being critical, and it's our own inner critic of ourselves, and we project that onto other people, and then that creates less than favorable situations for us. But again, we want to focus here on the healing. In fact, let's move this upward, because this is what we want to look at. We want to look at opportunities in which we can change, opportunities in which we can use feedback and use that as a way we can learn. Failure isn't about failing or being wrong in some sort of way. It's about learning from our mistakes. And that's the only way you can learn, is through failure. Oftentimes you'll hear successful people say all the time that, you learn more from failure than you ever do from winning. Winning feels fantastic. And, and it does let you know one thing, that you are capable of doing it. But as far as ways in which you can do it better and grow, the best way to learn is by falling on your ass here and there. And there's really nothing wrong with that. So the other thing that the 10 of Spades lets us know is that, what the 7 of Diamonds lets us know is that there might be some assessments that need to be made. So again, we're looking back at where it is that we need to change, where it is that we're holding on to the past, where it is that we're afraid to evolve, and where it is that we're afraid of judgment. And we need to assess some things so that we can learn how to adjust in order to make room for that healing. The only way in which we can heal is if we're able to deal with the things that we don't want to deal with. And for a lot of us, that requires us to dig into some past wounds and stories and situations that, just don't feel too good. Maybe they're stuck in our bodies. I stress the mind-body connection. It's very powerful. And when there's something in our minds and in our spirits that we have yet to deal with and address in a way in which it is healing and progressive, then, we will start to see that manifest in our bodies or manifest into our lives, whether it's socially or financial or physical. A lot of physical ailments are having to do with things that we hold on to or refuse to change, or self-infliction, self-pain, self-judgment and criticism and negativity of ourselves. And it's time that we let that go, and that's the only way in which we'll have hope. Okay? The star also represents optimism, fresh starts. And of course, we're in the middle of a new moon, or we're at the end of a new moon. I'm actually shooting this video on the night of January 6th, so that I have time in order to, share with you all what it is that we need to prepare for in time. And so, we are in the middle of a fresh start. And even though we're entering the second week of January, this is still a fresh start. We're still at the beginning of this year. And every week is an opportunity for a new beginning. Every day is a new beginning. Every moment is a new beginning. Every moment, every minute, every second, every millisecond that we have is an opportunity for us to make another choice. It's to do something else. It's to be more positive. It's to move forward. It's to take action instead of sitting still. And in terms of taking action, 2018 was a whole lot about transitioning and learning and planning and getting things together and getting information. 2019 is about action. This is the year of action. And so, we want to make sure we start off the year right. We're still at the beginning of the month. So take advantage of this new energy. Fresh start energy, new beginning energy. It's still here with us, no matter if it's a new moon or if it's the end of the new moon. Or if it's the first or the second or the third or the fourth, okay? Every moment is a fresh start. So if you notice some areas in which you need to change, go ahead and take advantage of that. Pay attention to the signs, Also, the stars suggesting some calmness and stillness that might be necessary, okay? it's going to be a lot of self-evaluation that takes place with the Star card. You know, healing often is very difficult to do when you have a lot of people in your ear, when you're being influenced by outside forces. You know, whether it's TV or media or family or friends in your ear, your boss in your ear, or other naysayers, even if it's people who mean well. People who are trying to encourage you, but maybe they just don't really understand you all the way. Star card is saying that it's time to listen to your inner voice. Listen to your own self-optimism. Also, it's okay to address the stars, address the cosmos at this time, or other divination acts, such as tarot, but also astrology. These things want to inform us on how we go forward. Pay attention to what zodiacs are in play right now, and what the planets are doing. Notice how these things are showing up in your life. In what ways can you change? In what ways can you let go? In what ways can you not judge? Be more understanding of yourself. Cut yourself a little bit of slack. Yes, we want to hold ourselves accountable, but you know, we also have to give ourselves a little room to make mistakes so that we can learn from them. We need to give ourselves room to be flexible. Give ourselves room to learn. And then that's the best way we can find our purpose. Because once we grow, then we have the tools we need in order to help other people. And that's what's important. Because then we can let go and then let the universe, let source, let God, whatever it is that you let, whatever it is that you worship and pray to, whatever it is that you understand, whether it's consciousness, whatever it is for you, you have to let that happen. And then when that happens, you're able to be in alignment with your purpose. And then you can hear the message that's coming out. Whatever that announcement is, and you can hear it, and those signs become apparent to you. But we've got to let go of that inner critic, because that inner critic, that voice sometimes is much, much louder than, you know, than the voice of positivity. It can be very difficult. Sometimes that little devil on the left shoulder is a lot louder than that angel on the right shoulder. But you know what's important about that analogy though is the concept of duality. You know, you do need that feedback in order to learn. In order to know yourself, you have to understand that there are dark sides. You know, stars couldn't be seen without darkness. You know, light cannot be seen without dark. These things complement each other. They can't exist without the other. So don't feel bad if you have an inner critic, because that inner critic is sometimes the one that keeps you in check. But we just can't let it run rampant. We can't let it keep us boxed up and hoarding and greedy and introverted, you know, and selfish. We can't let it keep us stuck there. You know, we can't get to the point where, you know, we start to make ourselves feel unworthy. We can't let it get to the point where, you know, it drowns out everything else and all the positivity in our lives. You know, because we are all stars in one way or another, and this is what we're all trying to get to. You know, if there's something in your life you feel like this might be relevant to, star cards are also yes cards. You know, if you have any questions about success or anything that you're pursuing, stars are all about the yes. You know, so if some sort of divine intervention has led you to see this video, and to maybe ask the questions of, you know, should I be doing this? In what way should I be going? Is this really my purpose? You know, my main thing is, you know, if you feel that there's some sort of desire you're leaning to, or something is calling you to move out of this into this, then the answer is yes. Optimism, always yes. Success is always yes. Positivity, always yes. So if you find anything that's questioning your optimism, your positivity, anything that challenges that, you know, take a look at what you need to correct within you. That way it can manifest on the outside. And then you can reach this level of success. I do hope that this video was helpful. Please comment what you see here in the cards, or how this might be relevant to you, if this reading was helpful at all. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I do look forward to hearing from you all, and I will see you next week with the third week of January's tarot reading. Until then, namaste.